Hey guys, it's Mari with My Heart Races blog, and today we're going to talk about how to prevent injury. Okay, when you're running, what you want to always do is play it safe. You want to build a base, and you want to do that by following the 10% rule. This is the 10% rule. You want to build your weekly mileage by 10% and no more. So for example, if you ran 20 miles last week, then you're safe to run 22 miles the next week, but no more. So when you're following the rule of 10%, your body will have time to recover and adapt to what you're doing, and injury is not likely to happen. Another thing to do to prevent injury is to always make sure that every other run that you do is easy and it's not hard and it doesn't feel like you're running as fast as you can. If you're doing every run as fast as you possibly can, it won't give your joints any time to recover, and it will slowly break them down, which leads to injury, which leads to not being able to run at all. So when you're running easy, you can sing along with your iPod, you can hold a conversation with your friend, and it shouldn't feel like you're running as fast as you can. Another thing that's going to prevent you from getting injured is to slow down on your long training runs. So when you're training for a half marathon or a full marathon, you're going to have weekly long runs where you're building your mileage, and you do not want to run this how fast you're planning on running your race. You want to save your race pace for race day, and you can practice your race pace during the week on a shorter run, but do not run the pace that you plan on running on race day during a long training run. Your long training runs should be about 60 to 90 seconds slower than how fast you plan on running on race day. So that means if you plan on running race day at a 9-minute average pace, your long runs should be about 10 minutes to 10.5 minutes per mile. One important thing about preventing injury is stretching. Happy muscles are ones that are stretched. So always remember, when you get home from a run, when they're nice and warm, you want to stretch. All the stretches that you did in elementary school are all the ones that you're going to want to do now. Stretch your hamstrings, your quads, all over your calves, your feet. Just make sure your muscles are stretched. Another important part of preventing injury is using a foam roller. I'm a big believer in the foam roller. My first marathon that I trained for, I had a really tight IT band. So what I did was I went to the running store and asked him what was wrong, what was going on, why I was in pain. And the first thing he did was direct me to a foam roller. What you want to do when you're working with a foam roller is lay on it, have all your body weight on the foam roller. You want to move 1 inch per second. So that's really slow. But what you want to do is work through all your muscles of your legs, front, sides, and back. And that will relax your muscles so that you can recover and so that you can get stronger. Another thing I want to talk to you about when it comes to preventing injury is strength training. It's so important for all of your muscles to be in balance and to work together when you're running. If you have a muscle group that's not as strong as it needs to be, then other muscle groups will compensate, and this creates an imbalance, and that will always lead to injury. So what you want to do is make sure all your muscles, your core, your legs, your glutes are all working together and they're all strong so they can contribute to running, and that will prevent an imbalance, which prevents an injury. So always make sure you do strength training at home. Lunges, you want to do squats, everything that works your legs and your glutes and your core, and everything will work together, and that will prevent injury. Now I'm going to talk about what to do if you do start to feel like you might be getting injured. If a pain that you have is annoying, I always say to keep running, continue running. If it feels painful, it means you could possibly be injured, and I always say listen to your body, which means usually don't run. If you're feeling like you're in pain, I always recommend talking to a doctor, a sports therapist, anyone who knows about the human body, who knows about an athlete's body, and they can really help you out in figuring out the best way to get better. So if you're feeling like you might be injured and your pain is annoying, then what you want to do is you want to rest for a while. Always listen to your body. Take a few rest days, even if your training program calls for running. Always listen to your body. You want to ice. You want to ice for 15 minutes on and off throughout the day. And you want to be religious about your ibuprofen intake. This, combined with the ice, will keep all the inflammation down, which helps your body heal faster. So always remember to ice, ibuprofen, and rest. That's the best prescription for getting well fast. I'm a big believer in following all these rules when it comes to preventing injury, mainly because when I started running and I started racing, I wanted it to become a lifetime hobby of mine. I fell in love with it and I want to do it forever. So I follow all these rules knowing that an injury would prevent me from doing this. So today we talked about preventing injury. We talked about the 10% rule when you're building mileage. We also talked about taking it easy. Every other run should be at a slow, easy pace. We also talked about your long training runs. They should be about 60 to 90 seconds slower than how fast you plan on running on race day. We talked about the importance of stretching. We talked about using the foam roller. We also talked about what to do if you're starting to feel a pain, if you're starting to feel like you might get injured. I really am a big believer in following all of these rules when it comes to preventing injury. I know it's worked for me, and I know it can help you. I am also a big believer in listening to your body. If you feel a little pain, if you feel like you need to rest, then I firmly believe in taking a few recovery days, taking it easy, and letting your body heal. Guys, thanks so much for watching my video today on how to prevent injury when running. If you have any comments, or if you have any questions, or if you have anything that's helped you prevent injury, please let me know. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Happy injury-free running!